Oh my god. Let's go live. Gluck, what's going on, bro? Man, if you want to come in here and chop it up, bro, we don't really have rules. As long as you're cool and all, that's cool.
Oh
Like,
no,
that's it.
I never wanted to just jump in when you're
Yeah,
live
no,
because
it's
it's kind of a
cool.
disrespectful thing in my
No,
eyes.
bro. As long as you with the group, we need as many voices as possible. So it's definitely cool with me, man. It's that shit going on with fucking California is. That's what I was telling Adam that maybe PlayStation had a plan to do some shit, but it's in poor taste when the majority of your game studios that are making the greatest games ever are from California. Safety first. You worry and make sure that everything is right over there. I mean, one of their studios could be in the way of that shit, and then everything get burned up, and the shit's out of. Like you gotta think of that. Nobody's really thinking of that shit. They're thinking of console
Thankfully,
and stuff.
thankfully none of the studios are within
That area.
any of the like I think we have 8 fires right now. I don't think any of them are within the
Damn.
yeah.
Oh my
Northern
god.
California is getting eaten up
So,
real bad right now.
how do you think this shit happened with the California shit? Is it like the ozone is very thin over that bitch, or like is it
One
like
of
a?
them was
Okay,
one of them.
okay. I was
One of them.
thinking, bro. I was thinking this for like a couple years. I'm like, bro, y'all ozone over California, is that shit gone? Cause it's like a magnifying glass, basically. Anytime like it's summertime, you motherfuckers should already know you're about to get in like wildfires, like you
Well,
know.
like 10 years ago, California stopped doing control burns up in the mountains and in areas where there's heavy brush.
Uh.
They stopped doing control burns, so now there's just dead brush everywhere in the mountains and stuff. So
Wow.
people, if someone throws a cigarette out their car, they could light the whole state on fire. And
Damn.
and one of the fire closest to me started from someone having a gender reveal party, and they had a pyrotechnic, so fireworks,
Mhm.
and they shot off a firework, and it caught the whole area on fire. Like over 7,000 acres is now burning because someone had to say, "Hey, my kid's gonna be a boy or a girl. Here's an explosion."
Something that nobody gives a fuck about except them. Wow.
Exactly.
Exactly. And all the people around them. One of my buddies actually lives right by. He's like 2 miles from the fire right now, and had to evacuate. And he's like, "I
We
don't
got
give a
a
shit about your damn
confirmation
kid."
here. No More Heroes 3 has been officially delayed to 2021, suspiciously after getting the rumors that Nintendo wants the developers to start making their games in 4K. So I would expect this game to be reworked in 4K for the new Nintendo Switch Pro that we all knew was coming since last year. So, um, good shit on them for delaying their system. I mean, delaying their games and making sure they run better. That's not bad. Good shit.
I like the Nintendo, man, and I like the Switch, but damn, dude, there's some frame rate drop and some other
I
issues
know.
on handhelds.
I don't want them to just give a Switch Pro. I want them to have a whole new next gen Nintendo Switch. I think
The,
that's what they need to do.
this handheld should have been next gen, man. It came out after Xbox and PlayStation's,
Exactly.
generation. So
I don't know. I mean, Nintendo sometimes they get away with everything. Sometimes it's like, you know, I don't know. I don't know really how to talk about it. I don't want to hurt anybody's feeling because I'm a Nintendo fan from many many years ago. It seems like they know they can get away with stuff sometimes, so they purposely don't do things. Like they can put out a good hardware based system, but because they failed with the Wii U, they're sitting up here and they're basically saying, "Oh, well, because we failed with the Wii U, you know, ain't shit really gonna happen with that." You know what I'm saying? And I think,
you would have thought that since it had the docking capability and the capability to hardwire into a TV, that maybe not the handheld itself would display at 4K, but the television side of stuff would. You know what I mean? Or it would have the
mhm,
capability of running stuff at 4K. or even upscaled. You know.
Hmm. I just, it's not only that. It's like you should have made your games better. And it's not that the stories suck or the characters suck. It's like you could have made the engines better. You know, the more attention to details. You know, things like that. You don't always have to go super bright or super cell shade. You don't have to do that. Nintendo needs to understand that. They can make a Mario that I've saw many different times in Smash Brothers games that has some nice attention to detail on his overall stitching, shit like that. They decide not to do that. I don't know why. I like a detailed Mario. Whether you see the shine on his little buttons or you see a little bit of dirt on his sign on his hat. Like there's a version of Mario on Super Smash Brothers. Either it's Melee or Super Smash Brothers, like the Switch version, and he's very detailed. And the Smash Brothers on Switch is so detailed. It's so good. I wish that every game that they made on the Switch had that art style. That's how good Smash Brothers looks to me. But no game looks that good all the time on Switch. There's a good amount of them, dude. Like, let's say Odyssey looks real good, but it could look better. Mario Odyssey.
Breath of the Wild looks great, and it's
Yeah.
got a great story.
I wish it was
It's just frame tearing and shit that they
Yeah.
have kind of throws it off.
It's a big game, but I mean, I just wish that you know how that mod.
What's that?
Oh shit! I'm watching these NBA players who's about to fight after the game. What is it? The Clippers and the Celtics. The Celtics and the Raptors. Sorry. Who won that game? Raptors won. Of course they gotta fucking want to fight. Oh, that's hilarious. Look at that dumb shit. They want to fight. They making all this money and they want to fight. Fuck out of here.
Like there's not like there's people in the stands for them to fight for.
No, exactly, bro. Like, god damn. Stupid motherfuckers. What were we talking about? Nintendo. I would welcome a more powerful Nintendo system, but the mod I was talking about was you know that mod that they made Super Mario 64 with the Unreal Engine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one. Like Mario can look like that. You know, I don't want a next gen refresh of the Switch. I want a new generation console from Nintendo. Don't do a Wii U shit. Trust me. I hope Nintendo is not fucked up and fucked their lessons up. Look at what happened with the Wii. Then they brought a Wii U out. It didn't do so good. Don't give it the same damn name. Give it something different. And make sure it's not a mid-gen refresh also. Because people will smell that shit. Make sure it's a brand new system. They made a lot of money. They made a lot of money off the Switches by never dropping the price this whole generation. They made a lot of money on a software, also not dropping the price and selling millions. They have enough money to make a good, powerful system. And I would
a lot of money on their Joy-Cons, which
exactly the Joy-Cons.
People had to buy multiple pairs because they had issues.
I think Nintendo can do it.
Maybe they are. Who knows what they're gonna do? Maybe they're gonna take the Switch engine and come out with something new. I would think it would kind of scare Sony and Microsoft if they released shortly after them.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think it would. But I mean, the only person that's really gonna need to worry about that would be Microsoft.
Microsoft.
You gotta they have to make sure they start actually caring about the consumer as far as games are concerned. They really have to start making sure games is the first thing on their mind in the morning. Not subscription services, games. New exclusive.
The whole push of their cloud stuff and all that, and it's like, so you're going to have cloud saving for your consoles and all that. Who cares? Sony's had that since PS3. Like,
Exactly.
why is that all of a sudden like a talking point? We're gonna have cloud
Because they're
saving and shit.
hoping people forgot about it. That's why.
I think a lot of the Xbox fanboys forgot that Sony had it, because that's a talking point they like to use on Twitter and elsewhere, is, well, the cloud and this. And I'm like, you realize Sony's had cloud saving and cloud streaming service when it comes to, you know, PS Now and PS Plus since PS3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, so Xbox fans said that basically Microsoft made the first all digital game system that a lot of people quickly corrected them and said the PlayStation Portable Go. Remember PSP Go came out and it didn't have the UMD drive. You could only download games to the system. And then after the PSP Go, Sony made the PlayStation Vita TV little box where you know you could put games in there, but most of the time it was digital only. I mean, I don't understand how Xbox fans could sit up there and not know gaming history. It's like some of these guys just started gaming this gen. Like it's just
Well,
obvious.
they don't look at the systems they don't play. So they only look at Xbox and what Xbox is doing. Whereas anyone who's on the Sony side tends to look at Microsoft too to see what they're doing. And, you know, because, I mean, PlayStation's been around so long. And then you look at Microsoft. Okay, what Microsoft innovate in Xbox and, you know, with Live and, you know, stuff like that back in the day. And I think we take a better look at it from a Sony fan perspective than an Xbox fan perspective wants to, you know.
Mm-hmm. So guys, you're looking at Sony's two Sony speakers, and I just wanted to know, and I don't want to be like a smart ass, by the way. I just wanted to know, what is this? Oh, look at that shit. When did I get this? So what I wanted to know was, um, the Sony speakers that we're looking at right now. They look oddly familiar. They look they look like the Xbox Series S and X. And I don't want to say like they're copying off Sony designs, but I found it very very funny yesterday that that's what was going down. I found it super fucking funny. Um, Look, I love Xbox. Let's be honest. I love them. I love that they have to do what they have to do to survive, but it is still funny. It's
They
super
they
fucking
give you
funny.
content, Jay. They give you
Yeah,
things to laugh about.
but look, if you're looking at the screen right now, Gluck, this is pretty fucking funny.
It is the little mini black speaker and the
Yeah,
white
it's
freaking,
like
yeah.
I didn't. Look, I just the design of both of those systems are such an eyesore that you know what each system is and you know what name it is. You got one is S and the other one is X because one is white and the other one's black. One is slim, the other one's big. That's cool. You can remember the names. But they are ugly systems. When you're speaking of new generation and you're expecting to see something really futuristic, you really, to be 100% honest, only get a box. You get two different types of boxes, and that's it. It looks like it was the cheapest thing. They didn't lose any money creating that shell for both of those boxes. All the money went to the tech inside. Obviously, this is what they were going for. Uh, I find it really fucking cheap for them to be a company that claims to be what trillions of dollars a company, and their Xbox division creating such a cheap, fucked up design. Um, I don't know, man. I wanna definitely put this shit up. I think is important.
It looks like they had their like PC department, like who designed the shape of PC towers, help
Yes,
them design the Xbox. It looks like PC tower, like a a very very square version of it.
exactly.
Like I mean, you could look at other PC towers. Look at Alienware. They put unique designs on their housing and stuff like that.
Mm.
Like you would think that Microsoft would do something to set themselves apart because the 360 looked okay. The Xbox original looked different. They were both not bad looking consoles. And then you have the VCR come out with the Xbox One, and then now it's just the what?
Yeah,
The
I
refrigerator.
think the systems for 360 was good. The big bulky classic Xbox is really really good.
Now it went from looking like a VCR to looking like a refrigerator and my stand-up washer.
Exactly. It's I don't know. I mean, I think that they really were lazy with this. They wanted to be cheap on the design, and they did get their way. They didn't. I don't think they spent more than like $10 on the fucking shell of those boxes. They don't look like they're gonna be very durable. You know, they look very very cheap, very cheap. Uh, but everything that costs a ton of money is inside. That shell doesn't cost any like the price of anything inside. Everything in those systems are expensive as fuck. Outside, not so much. I think that if you drop that shit's gonna fucking tear. You know. Oh my goodness. It's a sad day. It's a sad day for console design fans. If you were looking for a good system, these are not good. Uh, the fact that the fact that it's gonna be a weird system to design, like stickers for to put stickers on. That's gonna be weird. That big circle on the front of the front of the box, that's for the fan airflow. It's a big fan on that system. I figured that's what it was. A lot of people thought it was a speaker. I knew it had to been the fan because that's a lot of technology in there. They got to keep that shit cool. The fan is huge, by the way, for the Slim. It's a
I've
very
seen
very big
pictures of people who photoshopped the S and
system.
made it look like it was the Xbox logo where that big housing is
That was
just
nice.
by changing the color. You
That would have
know,
been nice. Yep.
yeah. I mean, something subtle like that. You can go with your little white square all you want, but if you put, different color material where the black is and leave black, you could put the Xbox logo right there. You know,
Exactly. I think there were many different ways they could have designed this system a little bit better, but again, this is what they wanted. This is what they wanted. Adam Core. Go play a little bit of Avengers for another mission. Adam motherfucking Core. Guys, I made this layout for Twitch. We're gonna also test it out here on YouTube. Let me know how it looks. I think we got everything we might need. We got the view counter, we got the chat box, we got the screen, and let you guys know what the fuck shit is, which is PS5. Uh, looks good. Looks fucking good. Joshua Good. I don't know when the pre-orders are. But the title is to confirm that the PS5 will still outsell the Xbox Series X based on exclusive games alone, which is how gaming always has been. Exclusives sell the hardware. Let me see. I think I got a good amount of Avengers now.
That's one of my issues with not understanding what Microsoft was doing with Game Pass was the fact that if you want to sell the hardware, you don't want to give someone an option to play somewhere else, you know, like on PC.
That right there is gonna hurt them with the new graphics cards that they introduced. That shit hurts them.
Like I generally buy both consoles at launch and then play them both, and then we'll end up selling one of them depending on what my friends stick with and shit. But I'm not even touching the Xbox this generation because there's no point because I have a gaming PC now. So I mean, why would I waste the money on a $500 box when I already have a $1,400 laptop that fucking will play 4K?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. New hero available, Black Widow, rated R. But I already knew she was available because I did her training test. If I'm 100%, yeah, so I completed this. I completed this. I completed this. I didn't complete any of hers. That's cool. Oh yeah, I was.
Did you beat the campaign already on Avengers?
Hell no. But I
Oh, okay.
did get Black Widow, so I'm pretty sure. Uh, I'm pretty sure all I have to do now is get Thor and Captain America. And
Yeah, I
no,
had just unlocked Iron Man on the campaign.
oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
he's fun. He's a fun character as far as like the Avengers you really want to fuck with. So you got Hulk first, which is a good character, Iron Man, and then Thor and Captain America are gonna be really good. However, the two females are very good in their own way. Like Natasha plays like a spy or a ninja type character, and then you
Yeah.
got Miss Marvel, which she's very cool. She's a mix of a lot of characters. She's got the strength similar to Hulk, and she has reach like for Tony Stark. She can reach a long way. Like she's good with crowd control. She can hit a lot of enemies in the same area, so that's good. I think I'm gonna get Hulk and go do this damn mission, this training.
They're bringing out the female Hawkeye next month, right? Or no, yeah, next month, and then November is Clint, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
the good thing is, yeah, the game as a service will keep your ass coming back to test out the new characters. So, in a way, it's not bad. It's like a damn TV series, you know? Like the new
Yeah.
season is out. So, I don't mind that. Now, games as a service that can't fucking commit to that and end up always being late or delaying shit, I don't like those. Like, you expect to have content every month and you can't do that, then your fucking game is gonna fucking flop. Um,
That's why I don't understand
Anthem,
why more of these. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Anthem,
Yeah.
they couldn't keep up.
No. Well, and that's why I don't like. I was saying is I don't understand how they want to be like an MMO in a lot of regards with these games as a service, but they can't keep up with the MMO studios when it comes to developing the content and shit like that. So
Why
why
do it?
not just yeah, exactly. Why try and be games as a service if you're not gonna you know meet deadlines and stuff? Like, I mean, a good example of a company that meets their deadlines is Square Enix and
God.
Final Fantasy 14. Final Fantasy 14, every month or 2 months, you have an expansion update on the game.
They have done much better with 14 than they ever did before, but they still suck when it comes with just normal single player games because they can't meet deadlines at all. Square Enix can
Yeah,
take
yeah.
fucking 6, 7 years to bring out a fucking game. after they already
See,
showed it to the public.
we'll see how they do with this, because this is one of their subsidiaries, right? Crystal Dynamics is theirs.
So I'm hoping. But that was Square Enix making those Final Fantasies, not Crystal. So I think Crystal might be able to do a much better job.
I mean, I do have to give Square Enix props when they do come out with a game, whether it's been delayed, 7 years or whatever. It's a pretty damn good game,
Oh, definitely. Whenever they bring the games out, it's definitely a great game. Oh.
I'm just curious what they're gonna do, and if they have a team working on 16, or if they're gonna bring back old characters or old stories, outside of, remake part 2.
Oh, yeah. I can only hope that they can, look, I never really understood how these companies, they make tons of money off of us, and they should have a full house. Most of the time, you find out they don't. They try to keep the profits as high as possible by not hiring a lot of developers, and I think that's a dumb thing. The more developers you got, the faster you can pump out the games. You can get your return back.
Yeah, as long as they don't follow, like, remember when Assassin's Creed started doing yearly, and it kind of started falling off?
Yeah, I hope they don't. I hope they don't do that shit. I don't ever want a yearly game from, or a yearly Final Fantasy from Square Enix. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about the what is it, Sony is scared of Xbox. Look, this happened before, and it was way worse. Xbox had tried their hardest to launch before PlayStation, and they did it in such a way that it ended up being a whole year before PlayStation. That was the 360 versus PS3. Seems so long ago now, but they did it. They ain't do shit today. Today ain't shit. You showed off the price of your system.
They showed off the price of the system.
And it might be like the competitor might show theirs off next week or the week after. But they're still coming out in November. So you're not getting any real help there where you think you're going to launch your system before the competitor. That ain't never going to happen. Not a year in advance. Also, the online infrastructure for PlayStation is going to be top notch. It's already top notch and it doesn't fucking fuck up and you don't get disconnected. Not as much as Xbox Live over the last 3 years.
They definitely turned around their internet infrastructure when it comes to, playing online on their servers. Because that was a big Microsoft talking point, was Xbox Live back in the day. It was much better than the PSN.
So we were talking about price also. Okay, so let's say the systems come out within a week of each other in November, and then on top of all of that, the price is either equally the same or PlayStation feels the need to shut them up by undercutting them by $50 fucking. That would be the pettiest thing that PlayStation could ever fucking do. They don't have to, but it would be funny to see them do it. People are gonna buy the PS5 at $500 knowing what it can do, and also knowing the games that it's gonna bring to the table.
Well, it's the games that will make the console, you know, and that's how it's always been and how it's how it should be, and the fact that if they're the same price and all the cross-play games are on both systems, and now you can play, you know, Call of Duty with Xbox players and shit, like, what's the selling point of that stuff if you don't have exclusives?
Exactly.
Especially since they won't be pulling people from their PCs on top of that, you know?
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, every single game, and it doesn't matter what system of Xbox you want to support, every single game will be on PC. Now, I find it ironic that oh yeah, I definitely want to get that. Okay, what's this one? I gotta be level 6 to do that. I find it funny that people think that PC doesn't exist this week, even though they saw the new graphics cards last week.
Yeah, and considering you can get the 70 for $500, upgrade to 4K, you know.
I think that some people might think, hey, if I'm already on PC, I might as well stay there.
Well, in the smart buy, the smart consumer is going to go, if they already have a gaming PC and then they want the console that's going to have the games that they won't be able to play on their PC, they're going to get a PS5.
Exactly. And you know how many games at launch won't be available on PC from PlayStation 5?
Yeah, it's 3 to 5 years, maybe longer, before Sony drops anything on PC, like, generally. If you're gonna stick around and only be PC, then you have to wait forever. Like Ghost of Tsushima, like, people really want that on PC, but what? You're gonna be midway through the PlayStation 5 generation before they even see that, you know?
Okay. I barely did that with the Hawk, but I was successful.
What difficulty are you playing on? You playing on hard?
Normal. I just haven't leveled them up a lot.
I started my campaign on hard, so I'm dying a lot, but, you know, like the challenge.
Oh, the challenges? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I do these little, what is it called? The harm challenge? Those things help you level up for real.
Aim.
You said harm.
Aim challenges.
No, they're called harm challenges. No.
Aim.
Are they an aim challenge? says harm.
Hmm?
It says harm challenge 1 virtual training
What?
module.
I mean harm.
Yeah, motherfucker. I said harm.
Is it arm?
No, I didn't say arm. I said harm with a H. Fuck. Adam,
I
cut
don't
that
believe you,
out.
Jay.
Cut it out, Adam.
Normally Jay likes to say arms.
Yeah, that was you. I only got a couple more. I'm about to go do that shit again. Yeah. I'm gonna do that shit one more time. Level his dumb ass up. I mean, it has RPG elements and makes it feel like it's an RPG, but it's really not. But it's really good though. I love Xbox fans. I love you guys. A lot of Xbox fans, if you prove them wrong, they only gonna come after you with personal attacks. They won't know how to tell you. Like, I just posted on Twitter that EA Access came out in 2014 on Xbox. So why are you hyping it up like it's something new? This Xbox fan said, "Are you like this in real life?" I was gonna respond to him like, "What do you mean like this in real life? Am I honest? Like, or do I like to point out the obvious? Yeah, I do." I mean, why wouldn't I?
I think he wanted to know if you pay attention to what's going on around you in real life, because apparently he doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, you got that service in 2014. You got Game Pass 3 years ago. So you had both of the services for over 3 years. Because EA Access was exclusive to Xbox since 2014, most of these guys actually went out and supported it because it was an exclusive feature. So you have already had EA Access as well as Game Pass. Again, I don't understand the hype when you already have the services. You're paying for the services currently right now. How does that benefit you going forward? Actually, if you were a smart motherfucker, you say, "Oh, okay, well I need more incentives for the new Xboxes. Like give me some new games cuz I can already play all the old ones on our services that you have." That's what they're not understanding.
Well, that and who wants to play an EA game filled with fucking game-breaking microtransactions
There you go.
nowadays?
Hey, they love that stuff. They love Madden and Need for Speed. That's what they love.
My FIFA Elite team.
Yeah, I saw Madden. I saw a couple other games. I don't remember seeing FIFA on that list for what is it? Play EA Access. I think though that not every game is day and date on EA Access, but we gotta see. They're launching that shit this holiday, but not right now.
But I mean, like, outside of the Star Wars game, but that was done by Respawn, right?
And everybody that wanted to buy it, they went out and bought it, or they got it on Game Pass already. If it was already on Game Pass.
Yeah. What else is there that EA does besides the sports games that just are cut and copy of the same they were last year?
Yeah, with Madden. Yeah. I don't know, bro. EA hasn't really made the best games. That's why they on everybody's shit list. Skate 4 isn't even in development. They only put out a fucking logo.
I mean, they could, ride this wave of Tony Hawk re-release, and put out a Skate 4, which I loved fucking the Skate franchise and
Oh,
played the
if
hell
that's
out of the Tony Hawk
confirmed,
franchise.
Skate 4 is on
Oh,
its way. Yeah, they confirmed
did they
that.
really?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I missed that.
What's sad about it, they only did that in response to Tony Hawk, so they didn't actually have it in development. But they did put out the logo. If you search anywhere on the internet, put Skate 4, you'll find the confirmation that hey, it's in development, but not in development in such a way that we really started developing it.
I mean, that's a buy for me. I mean, that's like one of EA's few buys for me nowadays, you know? You know what I was watching on my stream last night that looks really good is the new Batman that's coming out next year.
Oh yeah.
Arkham Knights.
That's gonna be
dude. Two-player co-op through the whole game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm about right there, man. That looks so good. And the fact that they're bringing in the Red Hood with like once he went back to the Batman family with the guns and shit,
Yeah.
that's fucking so cool. I don't know, man. I don't know how it is for you, Jay, but for me, co-op and the ability to play story mode
with other people. Oh yeah, I've been.
It motivates the hell out of me.
Yeah, I've been talking about that since PS3. I love the fact that what was it, White Knight Chronicles 1 and 2 had co-op, online co-op, and you can make your own town. Yeah. Did you play that game?
Hell yeah, I did. White Knight Chronicles. I saw it on PS
It was
Now.
like a console-focused MMO. It was so well done. It was so well done, man.
Me and my cousin played the hell out of that game. And then Dragon's Dogma? Is that what it was? Was it Dragon's Dogma? That was another good one. One that caught my eye recently, Remnant. Remnant. I haven't played it yet, but it's been out for a while, and people are saying really good things about it. It's 3-player co-ops, like full through, so I don't know.
I was trying to figure out which one it was, because Remnant and Greedfall, they basically remind me of the same damn game, which is sad. They came out around the same time as well.
Yeah, I watched the gameplay footage last night because one of the people in my chat were saying, you should check out Remnant. It's getting a lot of movement right now for some reason, and a lot of people that I follow are streaming it on PC and stuff, and they're like, you should check it out. And I watched the footage and it looks really cool, and it looks like it's something unique, and the fact that they have that co-op element, like we don't sit on each other's couches anymore and play video games like we used to. So I mean, when you can get a good story with a co-op, that'll motivate me to buy your game. And that's why I bought Avengers, is because of the multiplayer aspect of it, Oh
shit, my man. Yep, big guy went down. That's my fault. It's that time. There you go. Everybody
Ape
got
that 2-player co-op game that was only one person had to own it, and then you would send your buddy the code to play with you. I forgot what the game was called.
Man of Madame?
What was that, Adam?
Man of Madame?
No, it was like a prison game. Like you started out in
Oh,
prison.
Way Out.
Yeah. Did you guys play that?
I remember playing it once with a friend of mine. I didn't complete it though.
See, stuff like that's even interesting to me when you basically all you need to do is sell one copy and then 2 people can play it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that game's done it. Man of Madame's done that. Wolfenstein Youngblood did that as well.
Oh, and Youngblood did that? Really? I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
There've been a few games that have done that. Not a lot, but some.
Yeah, because it basically, if you're selling it to 2 people, you make more money. But giving away a additional, basically a copy if you play with the same person, it's kind of a risk, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think John Blood was like it's a single player experience, but it's like it's got a leveling system to it, unlike previous Wolfenstein games. Man of Medan's obviously obviously like Detroit and Until Dawn, should I say? Because again, it's from the same makers, which is
Yeah.
pretty impressive. Man of Medan, I think, is a very good one actually, because again, like in the sense of when I play it with my mate, do like a little playthrough. Like it was a sense of what I see on my screen wouldn't be the same thing he sees on his screen, and they were like.
Okay, I got one more.
It was kind of right
so
at
we
the
can
beginning,
finish
like the perception value of like you have these 2 like Vietnam soldiers, and on my screen, I was given the choice to hide in a locker or escape, right? And I thought I'll hide in the locker, and his decision was because he had a gun, to shoot the locker or something else, and he ended up shooting the locker that I was in and kills me. But when he opened it, it wasn't my body. It was like a scary monster creature thing.
What?
But on my screen, it was me dying from a devil. It was really fucked up and cool.
Oh, so it was made by the people who make Detroit Become Human?
Yeah. No, wait. No, that's Quantic Dream. People that made Man of Madame made Until Dawn Massive Studio, I think it was. Or no, Supermassive.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
That sounds cool. I might have to pick that up because I never played it. I like games like that where heavily story driven, more little, like the cinematic style, and then where you don't know what's going on with your partner that you're playing with and stuff is kind of a cool little aspect.
I think I'm going to call it there. I'm on the mission where I'm playing as Banner and going to get Jarvis.
Bruce Banner?
Yeah, I'm just going to get Jarvis, which is why I played in the beta, so I'm going to stop it there. I kind of started playing this early, a little bit late. Yeah. No, it's really cool. I mean, obviously Man of Madame is a very small. I mean, it's a very small experience. So I would say roughly, you can play it in one sitting. But obviously, with that being said, there's multiple like endings and directions of how that type of game goes. It's pretty impressive. Obviously, again, it's the same people made Until Dawn, but it's a little bit different to that because obviously with Until Dawn. So that's based on like the classic horror thing, the aspect of horror.
4v1, yeah.
Yeah, which is again, I think that was one of the during the PS4 era, that was definitely one of my top 10 games. Actually, funny enough, during this generation, actually, I think I was a big fan of what they did in that game. And I kind of wish Sony would buy them or acquire them because their story. their storytelling's very. I mean, obviously, it's very similar to like what you've got in Quantic Dream games, but they played around the idea, I think, a bit more better in a way. They kind of played a bit more playful, other than with Quantic Dreams' games, they kind of go what's it called again? They kind of have that notion of like very serious, but like it's basically like this is the good ending, the bad ending, and then there's like a bunch of other routes. Whereas it's the same. The massive studios do the exact same, but they don't rest on that. They kind of try to innovate those sort of things, and like it's like the integration of the controller very early on. They did a very good job of that. Let alone, like I'm saying with Man and Madame, like they incorporate the second player, and it's like in this really weird way of you're hallucinating basically. So I mean, I can't really say too much about it because it kind of ruins it. Well, it doesn't ruin the story, but it's like it gets that point of it. But
They have something coming out next year too, right? Or this year?
yeah, it's the part 2 of their own. It's basically Man and Madame 2, but they call it the Dark Anthology. That's it. It's all part of the same thing.
Yeah, because I just went and looked at their. I went and looked at their website, and they have Little Hope, whatever the hell that is.
That's it. Yeah, that's the second game.
That looks, dude. It looks pretty clean, man.
I think that was definitely one of those games where for me it goes back to what I said earlier on. Like it's definitely one of those games where, because it was the middle of the cycle, it was like the middle of PS4 cycle, like the captures of the faces and the acting, pretty good. Like I mean the acting's not like spot on, but like the face and all of it's like wow. They really go for it. I mean, they obviously have to because that's pretty much the main factor of it, really.
It seems like seems like they've made a bunch of games I missed, like Hidden Agenda, whatever that was.
Mm-hmm.
And of course I played Until Dawn because, well, I think it was free for a while on PSN, so I think it's in my catalog. And then I think that would be fucking dope if they did acquire a studio like this, which, does an anthology over multiple games where, it's not necessarily the same characters, but it's kind of like what was that anthology movie series where it started off with the giant monsters and it was the hand footage, and then it was the girl in the basement, and then it was in outer space. I think it was J.J. Abrams who did it. But it's that style where it's like the universes are all tied together, and I like shit like that,
Oh yeah, I know what you mean.
What was that movie? It was like set in New York, the first one, and it was all hand cam footage.
Oh yeah, Cloverfield.
Yeah, the Cloverfield franchise, and how it's they don't bring over any of the same characters really, but it's tied into how the Cloverfield monsters came to Earth and stuff. That kind of stuff really motivates me, like to dive into it if it's an anthology like series. And that's why I've liked Quantic's games and stuff. Like I played Indigo Prophecy on my Xbox, and that game was like fantastic. Like I mean, if you look back at it today, it looks graphically like terrible, but it's still one of those games where it's like so story driven, and it just pulled you in,
Yeah, of course. Let's have a look here. Where made this? The Universal? Yeah, it was Universal. Yeah, because I remember. Yeah, because Universal Pictures, they were starting that sort of thing off, the sort of the monster universe. When they started it off, they wanted to start it off with the Mummy.
Yeah.
And they did the whole situation of like how that would tie in, and it was what was his name? Oh God. Yeah, it was it, wasn't it? It was the Kurt Russell's character who was Jekyll and Hyde, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I actually liked it. I like what they try to do with that, but obviously the Mummy. I mean, again, you're basing the Mummy off of well, what would it be? What was it? 3 films? I mean, 3. Yeah, 3 previous films, like three prior films, shall I say? Which a lot of people have a bit of love to, especially the first 2 Mummy films. The Mummy and the Mummy Returns. Then you had the Tomb one with Jet Li, which was a bit of a interesting one, but.
Yeah, the Mummy films with freaking Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. I was a big fan of the first 2. Well, the first one I was a big fan of. The second one I liked as well. Regardless of the bad CGI with The Rock.
That was like The Rock's first acting role too. Like
Yeah,
such terrible CGI.
And then they did the whole
The Scorpion King.
They did the Scorpion King. That was it. Yeah, which was that was alright because it didn't have all the bullshit. But that was funny. That was. I remember that film with the fucking god.
Oh shit! Supermassive was the one who converted Killzone to PS3.
Yeah. Mhm.
Damn, dude. They did the upscaling and all the rework on it.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't know they were this that big. I knew they had done Until Dawn, and that's all I knew. And then Bravo Team. I knew they worked on Bravo Team.
Yes, that's right. Okay. Yeah, because I think PlayStation they've been looking into a few things actually. A guy that I know that I talk to on a regular mentioned that they're looking to acquire a studio or a team that have hands, that have their pockets basically in Castlevania, Metal Gear Solid. It's like into a certain degree. It's not Konami. It's someone else that's had their hands in those sort of projects. I don't know, I forgot the name now. Which is very interesting. They also have been in talks with Level 5, who do Ni no Kuni. They're looking to acquire them, maybe.
That would make sense because Ni no Kuni is very, very core Japanese JRPG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and obviously there's these suggested leaks going around about PS4 and Nintendo Switch getting ports for the Ninja Gaiden series.
That'd be cool.
Which, if that does happen, I remember hearing back in May, I think it was, some of the old team were working with a studio of PlayStations, and like basically PlayStation have been like behind closed doors, been wanting to grab certain projects or certain teams that were initially on Xbox's end. 2 of them being Alan Wake and Remedy. Ninja Gaiden is another one with Team Ninja. And again, now it's Tecmo. Was it? No, not Tecmo. Kyo Tecmo. That's it. Which they've been buddy with PlayStation for the past few years with Neo. Obviously, yeah, Remedy. They recently did a deal with Epic, which I find it very interesting to see that. Well, a few things. One being that Epic and Sony are being very buddy. The aspect of PlayStation investing $250 million for 14%, which is interesting. The aspects of recently seeing in certain advertisement of PlayStations, like the recent ones being the first one is the downloadable skin for Predator Hunting Grounds for Dutch's classic skin, and it's literally it's saying Epic Games and PlayStation, which is on a PlayStation advertised thing that they're okay doing that. I was like, that's interesting. Then also seeing what's it called? Kenna. Initially, it was going to Steam, right, which is what it should be. But recently, it's been saying PlayStation and Epic Games Store now, for some unknown reason. Which is like, Huh.
Well, the Epic Game Store, I mean, maybe Sony also did the same kind of thing, but Steam is getting undercut by the Epic Game Store because they're not ripping the studios from the 30%. They're only taking what,
Yeah.
13% or 12%, whatever it is,
Correct.
which
Yeah.
is a smart play by them. And Steam, I have my Steam account and all that, but if Epic has a better deal on it, I'd rather support through Epic for the simple fact that the developers and the studios make more money that way, you know?
Exactly. I mean, the thing is with Steam. Well, I mean, not with Steam, with Epic. Like, obviously, I know that I know a few people were very vocal about the situations of, like, when it first started, like the Epic loader and shit like that, like the store, like some of the things with Epic were very bad. Like they clearly need to, um, like, sort of iron out some kinks in their situation, which obviously, Steam have done better with. But obviously, they can do that over the. I would think they can do it over the course of time, especially with the amount of money that Epic theoretically have, and if they are truly invested in, the Epic Game Store and the launcher and that sort of situation, I would expect them to kind of lean into that to try and, um, well, like get those developers, the cut that they need, but then also if, PC players that need to download that loader, they feel comfortable in doing that
Yeah.
because they have whatever the criteria is of what Steam has, but better or, the same. Um, yeah, I mean, that's what I've not experienced the Epic games launcher or any other things, but I mean, obviously I do keep my ears close to some of the things that are mentioned, like what they wanted it, what they want from Epic, their launcher, which makes sense. I mean, it's kind of like what's its face, uh, God, it's like a lot of some of the streamers. I remember what's it? No, I saw his name, Summit G1, I think his name is.
Yeah.
He played it. He liked playing a lot of Sea of Thieves, but the thing is, he had to use the Windows launcher, which he fucking despised. Then obviously this year it came to Steam. As soon as that happened, he switched over to that, and he's enjoying that experience more better than what he was on the Microsoft launcher or Windows launcher. And that he isn't the only one. I think I've seen a few people mention that, like, they don't like it. I remember, what's his name? Doctor Disrespect, I think was another one. I think he was trying to. What was he trying? I think it was. I think he was doing it through. He was using the Windows launcher for Call of Duty Warzone, and he kept on getting all these different fucking tabs and trying to like get it to work and shit like that. He was getting all fucking pissed off and shit. And he ended up just deleting the launcher and then finding another way, but he went for another launcher pretty much, and it what better.
Yeah, and I think well, the Windows launcher is fucking terrible, but I think as long as Epic doesn't go the way of Valve and stop focusing on the things they produce, like the Unreal Engine and Fortnite and their games, because that's one thing that really pissed me off with Valve is like they had such a great title in like Half-Life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Half-Life
And it took them what, 20 years
Dead?
to get Half-Life 3 out?
Yeah.
I mean, the Half-Life series spanned that series spanned over a lot of things, and then obviously you had Left 4 Dead with Turtle Rock, which is they've completely stepped away from Valve now. I think now. What are they doing now? They're doing something. I think they're doing a new project now. I forgot who they're doing it with. I think it might be PlayStation. I don't know. That was another studio that PlayStation were looking into because of multiplayer.
Off of here tonight, I did want to address. I just blocked 2 Xbox fans. Well, I think it was 2 Xbox fans because I swear I didn't even.
Why?
So random Twitter people. So I wanted to say,
Okay.
Adam. So I corrected. I've been correcting Xbox fans all day, and they just go personal attack. So they do get blocked. Because if you can't keep it gaming and you like,
You're
oh,
blocking. Are you blocking them because they're personally attacking you with certain shit, or are you blocking them because they're being assholes?
oh, be an asshole. So okay, so when I tell you,
Okay,
hey,
so
the service you're hyping up today, you already supported it in 2014. When you say, hey, is that all you care about, or that's you don't care about anything else? And I was like, okay, I'm just telling you that why are you being excited about a service that you had on your exclusively on your system since 2014? They don't want to answer the correct answer, which is there's really no reason to be excited about something I already own. So this is the other one. This one was funny. This guy, he just okay. This is I said I posted a picture. I didn't say anything. I posted a logo that I made, which was Xbox has no games, right? I put that shit on the shirt also. The guy says, imagine dubbing in 2020, right? And again, I don't dub or dab, right?
or
And
dab, yeah.
yeah, so he has a picture of Master Chief in a movie chair with popcorn. And all I did was post a picture where it confirms Microsoft delays Halo Infinite to 2021. He replies, "We still have Medium and Scorn." And I said those games were not confirmed for November 10th. He
That's
says
true.
he posts a picture and he says these games will be available on Game Pass at launch.
Yeah, that's true.
From what I heard, when they do launch on there, they will be on Game Pass. I know that. When did the Medium and Scorn get a release date for 2020? Because Scorn hasn't finished its development, and Medium,
they have both mentioned again. Scorn was on PC. You know, you can watch gameplay theoretically right now. I don't know if it's the whole game or it's a prequel. I have no clue. I'm guessing it's the whole game. It's there on PC. I'm pretty sure of it. But when it comes to the 2020 date, they have said, both of them, that they are supposedly to be coming out in 2020, yes. But the thing is, they haven't actually got a month or a day. They literally just say 2020. Obviously, you know, with Medium being what it is, which is a dual reality game, even though it's not going to be like a big, you know, it's not going to be like a big experience. Like, we're talking maybe, I don't know, 15, 20-hour experience on that. You know, it does require work. Depending on how long Blooper have been making that game, I don't know. I'm guessing it must be like 2-3 years now. I have no clue. But yeah, I mean, right now it's only a year. It's not. If it was launching, then I would have expected them to come out and say that is release date, that Medium's coming out, but they haven't. So that means that they don't know. Like, it's all up in the air. Yeah. Again, like, you know, I said it earlier on. Like, we spoke about this before. When it comes to Xbox and their launch lineup, right? They beginning of the year, they must have had a big idea of what their launch lineup was going to be, right? And it was going to be a somewhat fairly good one with Halo Infinite, the Medium, some others here and there, right? But shit happens and shit gets pushed back. With that said, with obviously Halo being the big one getting delayed until next year, and maybe if it does happen to 2022, depending on what they do, like, they have to refocus on what they know. How do we get people to buy or to invest in a Series S or an X? And the answer to that is, you know, basically Game Pass. And again, even though it's right now, it offers a handful of first-party games and obviously some third parties as of right now. Like, is there anything new? Like, is anything more enticing than that? Not really. And thus, you know, we said this, right? What can they do? What can they bring to Game Pass to really entice people? And their answer to that is EA Play. You know, they are buddying up with EA to, I mean, again, I don't think that's a long-term thing. Like, that is not unless Microsoft renew that contract. I have no clue how long that's going to be for. I'm expecting it's going to be like maybe a few months to a year, maybe. But there's no way in
the
hell
way
EA...
they're making it seem is like they're together forever.
No.
I know.
Fuck no.
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised if they are, but I'm just saying, they're the way that they came out today is like, hey, this shit is about to be connected forever. And I know how you talked about how partnerships are with Game Pass and how much money it would cost Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to the people about this on the first live stream we did today on YouTube. How many billions of dollars this might cost them. Because this is a whole library of EA access. And I'm going to be honest, no one's ever buying a game from EA on Xbox again.
Well, the thing is about EA Access is that I don't know the library of games that are on there. I don't know how it works. Like, do they put games on and take them off? I have no clue. But from what I looked at today and gathered, they have, again, they've got two services. They've got the standard version and the pro version. And it's a mixture of, you can play games, I think it's 10, you can play new games 10 days early, so you get early access basically, before you buy basically. So you can try them for 10 days before you buy them, which is pretty dope. That's one of the the things. There's exclusive rewards for playing EA games, sort of thing. So they'll give you, I don't know, cosmetic stuff and stuff like that, season passes, that sort of jazz. It's on their website actually. When I was looking at it earlier on. And then when it comes to library games, I don't know. Like, is Madden 21 on there and FIFA on there day one, or is it just a part of the trial, the 10-day trial thing? I have no clue.
They, according to their website, the 2021 games are not on there right now. So I was looking through the list of games that are available on EA Access right now, and Madden 2021 isn't on there. So it's not like they're going to catch people who want to play Madden subscribing to that service or being excited about that service because the Madden fanboys are going to buy it. They're going to have to buy it because that's the only way they can play it at launch, you know?
Yeah, you see, that's the thing. You see, that's the part. Again, we're like, I think the realization, and this is the funny, because I remember when this news dropped, I see a lot of people say, "Oh my god, they've added even more value to Game Pass." Like, well, yes, they have theoretically, but not the value in which you're thinking. Obviously, it's not new value. It's kind of like old, sort of, sort of not recent, but like middle value sort of thing. But with that being said, I mean, you're talking about EA, a company that kind of wants money, and it's also the case that, like Ubisoft, EA, what other ones? I mean, PS Now, Xbox Game Pass, they're all doing their own little services, right? Their own little sort of, things, streaming services or whatever you want to call them. So like they want to get they want your money for themselves. So they want you, whatever it is for access or play, they want all that money you're going to give them for that month. They want that all to themselves, not splitting it, between two companies. And obviously, like I said earlier on, it's pretty obvious that Xbox have paid a substantial amount of money to pay off Game Pass subscribers, which is what, 10 million as of like recently. There's like 10 million. There's 10 million users, or whatever, active users of Game Pass. Like, they basically paid them all off, so that like if someone was to invest in going to Game Pass, that will be an additional incentive for them to subscribe to, on top of whatever's on Game Pass at that point in time. And I'm guessing that's only gonna, like I said, that's not gonna last like, years upon years on end. Like, I feel like that's going to be at least like a year max, maybe in a few more, like, I would say, like, I don't know, 7 months, 8 months, before maybe EA turn around and go, you got to renew the contract, or we're not going to do it again. Because again, they want, I don't think EA will be the ones to just give it to them willy nilly. Like, there's just no way. They are off. I'm pretty sure they demanded a fuck ton of money.
Well, they would have to, because what they're going to do is be like, okay, this many people on Xbox have EA access. let's say it's 1 million people and they're charging what, $10 or $15 a month, right? Or whatever their service is. They're going to do the math and say, okay, that's 1 million people we're not going to have anymore because we're including it in the base price of yours. You have to pay us this amount of money. And the question becomes, when is Microsoft going to say, okay, Game Pass now has to go up in price because of the fact that we're bringing in these other streaming platforms into our platform and buying the rights to use their, software. I mean, look, a good example is I think it's September 15th or the 20th, Game Pass doubles in price on PC. It goes up from $5 a month to
I'm just gonna have a look at that because I saw that.
Yeah, it goes up from the $4.99 because it's coming out of beta, and it's going to go to the $9.99 a month. Like, how many services? Realistically, like, how many services do you have for streaming video? I have Hulu and Netflix, and then I have my Amazon Prime because I order a lot of shit off Amazon Prime, so I get Amazon Prime Video for free. I pay $22 for streaming video. How much money am I going to pay to stream video games? Granted, there's a lot more viability in a video game because you could have a 60-hour game, but like, am I going to end up spending $60 a month and being able to stream all these different platforms? Like, is that going to be financially viable and smart?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. It really does start to.
But again, Game Pass. I mean, they came out a few weeks ago, a month ago, saying that, I think a lot of people cover this. Game Pass is not making money from Microsoft.
No, it's got to be costing them and losing them money for the simple fact that
it definitely is. Yeah.
Well, they have 10 million. They have 10 million subscribers right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 10 million subscribers. Those 10 million people, let's say all wanted, let's use the PlayStation title, Ghost of Tsushima, and it came out on Game Pass day one. That's 10 million sales that you just lost at $60 per game. The studio's gonna look at it and be like, okay, that would have been this amount of money we would have made outside of publishing and cost of discs and stuff.
And all that money is going towards you, because again with Game Pass, that whatever it is a month is going. Well, it's kind of.
Well, because Microsoft upfronts them.
It doesn't work like that, but they're basically they literally like split the money like every way possible. But obviously it doesn't work like that. They probably give it to just like an Xbox and then they fund whatever it is. But they obviously
or it might work like Spotify, where like they base it on total downloads and they give a percentage of the person's service fee, like Spotify does, where it's like, okay, you're paying $10 a month and you listen to Adele, Eminem, and Jay-Z. Those three people you listen to over and over again. They're getting the big chunk of yours, and then we're keeping half of it. Could be something like that, but I don't think so, because think of how many games Microsoft has. 100 to 200 games on Game Pass right now. Imagine if a person in a month downloads 5 games, 10 games, whatever it is. They would have to divvy that up. Microsoft is probably upfronting and saying, okay, the cost of you having it on our service is $6 million in profit to your company, so we'll pay you a guaranteed of $4 million because you might not make that $6 million because people might word of mouth it. They have to be upfronting it, because otherwise, why in the hell would you put your game on Game Pass?
Well, it's like I remember last year. I mean, I'm funny if I remember last year. The prior to it being released, the aspects of how much Gears of War or Gears 5 was going to sell, and that was like, if I'm not correct, that was technically one of their big first party games that was going on Game Pass. I'm pretty sure of it, because again at that point they didn't really have much on there apart from Crackdown, maybe, I forgot. I mean, that was the big one basically. A lot of people were talking about, because like that's going to be on Game Pass day and day, or if you've got Game Pass Ultimate, you can get it a little bit earlier, and you won't have to pay $60. And I think the sales came out, and it was like roughly, I think, like 60,000 in total units sold, compared to the 3 million, I think it was, or over 3+ million that downloaded it, or it was like there's 3+ million users. That was it. Of that game, which was obviously to do with Game Pass, but then has the mixture of the people that actually bought the game as well. And it was like seeing that number. I remember a lot of podcasts that have a mixture of Xbox and PlayStation fans and Nintendo and PC fans as well were talking about it and basically saying like that's not good. And the Xbox fans going, "How is this not good? It's brilliant." It's like, no, it's not, because you are paying how much, and how much is it? How much should it really cost you?
Well,
And it's like you're not giving them the money.
Well, and like you look at the budget of a game, like what did Grand Theft Auto 5 cost? Like 500 million, I think, is what the production value was, right?
Games roughly right now cost between 3-5 million. And the thing is, right, when it comes to recent article that came out about the cost of games going up to $70, right? And the case of them bringing up the aspects that, game development costs have gone up by 200-300%. It's like gamers have technically been living in luxury with what they've been having to pay, which is basically $60. Whereas
we haven't had inflation in a market that has seen inflation in what? When did the games go to 60?
Xbox 360?
Yeah, so for what, 10, 12 years we've had games at $60 and there's been no price increase except for, deluxe and all that shit.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they did though. You see, I felt like the standard version of the games, because again, like that's what I've always seen. Standard version of games are always $60. But when it comes to like the special editions, the limited editions, and the special editions, because some of them have special, limited, and then collector's editions, and then they have the special edition and the collector's edition. Like it's either there's four editions of the game or 3 editions of the game. But again, like the big editions, the collector's editions, are roughly like, they span between $300 to like $200 to $250. So I'm guessing that's where they try to. That's how they try to get as much money as possible.
Making money.
I think it's like Last of Us, right? Last of Us Part 2, the Ellie edition with the backpack, that cost like over $250. I think it was.
Well, there was was it Final Fantasy Remake or one of? Oh no, it was Devil May Cry that you could buy it with the jacket.
I got a button.
Yeah.
I'm still going up against this guy on Twitter. Hold on, I'm about to post this in the Sunday.
I think Resident Evil was another one because with the Leon jacket.
Hey Adam, go check this shit out, bro.
What?
I'm still going back and forth with this one Xbox fan. I haven't blocked him because he hasn't went personal. So I told him you don't have Forza and you don't have Halo, right? I told you to exchange between that. When I told him no Forza, he says so? ? Then he tries to tell me about medium and scoring. I'm like, so I just asked him. He hasn't replied yet. Does he know what both of those games are about? You can't just spit out fucking games and say, hey, well, we don't got anything, but we got medium and scoring. Do you know what those games are about? Are you going to buy them? Are you going to play them? Like, no. It's like, that's not how that shit works. Is medium and scoring, this is what I want to know. Is medium and scoring, are they brand new IPs like Ghost of Tsushima and
Medium is, but scoring isn't.
Okay. What I mean by, are they like Horizon Zero Dawn where it's going to sell the system?
No.
No. I mean,
I don't think so.
Is it something like Ghost of Tsushima that's brand new that everybody's talking about?
I mean, the medium is one of those games where it's an interesting concept or idea, which, the aspect of the dual reality situation, like, because of the loading times, because again, it's all the SSD situations. But then obviously Ratchet & Clank's not like that, but like the aspects of the instant loading between dimensions, obviously it's not dual reality, but again, like you're loading into these worlds within a blink of an eye, and it's just like, wow. And with the medium, it's basically constructing 2 maps at the same time, so it's like a negative version of the world and a positive version.
It's the upside down, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah, exactly. That's a better way of saying it. The upside down. So, it's an interesting concept, right, as an IP, but is it like a system seller, like, God of War, Horizon,
Spider-Man.
like Spider-Man, like Ghost of Tsushima? Not really, no. I don't, like, to me personally, I'm like, is that even a $60 experience, let alone a $70? I mean, I don't know.
Well, I pulled up an article with the guaranteed launch day games for Series X and S. I don't see any exclusives listed here. You got Gears Tactics. That's it.
They just announced that today. Even though
Yeah,
it came out.
the years ago.
Yep.
I mean, you got a lot of cross-plats: Dirt 5, Watchdog, FIFA, NBA.
Did they confirm they're getting that flight simulator game?
No.
It's
No, I don't know if they can run that, bro. But they have.
it has the based on what they have in their box, it can run it because my PC is lower level than their box, my desktop, and I can run Flight Simulator on that. But I don't know if they want to. I mean, they would have to make peripherals for it, and they would have to make Xbox compatible fly stick and stuff.
That's the thing.
Do they?
Do they have a market over there that if they put that game over there, they will even play it, even if it's given away for free?
Well, no, because they're all about multiplayer over there. Like their mindset is driven by multiplayer on Xbox. I truly believe that. And
that's
Flight Simulator is not a multiplayer game where you kill each other, Yeah.
Again, that game is theoretically driven off of the aspects of flying around the world, and again, like that being the long-term thing of like keeping you interested. It's like like I said earlier on, Jay, with the aspects of like like what, like basically theoretically speaking, right? What Game Pass is what Game Pass is theoretically going to do for their studios and their business plans for those studios to make whatever game it is. A lot, like I just mentioned, right? Multiplayer game. That's what they're going for, right? And they're good at that. They, for the past few generations, they've been very good about their multiplayer, genres. But looking at the aspects of trying to keep you engaged for a long time, and this also comes into the factor of like keeping you subscribing to Game Pass, right, as a games as a service situation. I think they will try and do that. Like they will definitely be homing in on the games as a service. I mean, I've seen.
We got a red alert. I don't know if it is a real red alert. Have you saw the retail box
of
the Xbox Series X?
No.
You post it. I have a feeling I might know which one you're gonna post.
Talking about the holes with the green up top? Or no?
I mean, the box looks better than the box looks better than their console.
That's what they're saying. That's the retail box. I should probably get this up on screen.
I wonder if that it's gonna actually light up like that, because that will add some styling.
That'll look nice, depending on where you put it at in your entertainment system, because it is pretty big.
Yeah.
Why do I not believe that box?
Well, hey, this is the one that I just saw, bro, and it came from Wario 64, bro. It came from Wario 64. He's not gonna put up no fake shit, bro.
Yeah, I know. Like,
but it is $600. It is a $600 box in other countries.
It probably is. It's just a case of like. Actually, maybe no. Wait, no. It probably is actually. What they've probably done is they're laying it down on its sides, and then they've got the wires and the components and the control up top. All right, cool. No, it's just a sense of like I was thinking that the console was on the left side. And then the wires were on the right side, but that's a lot of dead space. But I'm probably guessing what they've gone and done is they're probably laying the console down.
Dead space.
Yeah, I know. They're probably laying it down on its sides with the the wires and the controller on top.
The good thing is it is 1 terabyte.
That is it, probably, yeah.
So that's a lot. That's a lot of space. They must have, bro. I'm gonna be honest though. Their SSD ain't shit compared to the PS5, but. How much money are they losing by not charging $600?
Hold up. That bottom half, is that the bottom of the console?
Yeah, That's the bottom. With the round thing. That's the
That's
bottom, bro.
interesting.
It's ugly bottom, but it seemed
No,
like.
no, no. That's actually really. I mean, again,
What?
that's interesting.
Why? Let us in on it.
How does that system ventilate?
Up top.
No, but how does it get the air?
I don't know. They said it's up top.
Look,
That's what all the diagrams show.
again, like I can understand the little disc thing, which is again, it's propping it up so it isn't like, so basically that circle part wasn't there, and you pull it and you'll stand it up like that, right? That's a problem. But then looking at that, that is theoretically
blocking the air.
It's blocking the air. Because again, if you look at a GIF or if you type in the Series X fan or whatever, right, you'll see the pictures, the way the airflow works, right? Yeah, theoretically, that's what the console was doing. It's sucking the air from the bottom, and then the fan, right, where it is literally at the top.
Yeah, that makes
and it's basically it's a sense of they're sucking the air from the bottom. It's like a vacuum, and then they're cooling it. Then they're ejecting it from the top with the fan, where the fan is. That's the top half of it. But the thing is, looking at that, that's not a lot of space. I mean, again, they had to prop it. I know that, but based on the holes that it's going to be going through.
True Woody, I'm gonna turn up my mic. Hold on, let me turn up my mic. My mic is pretty fucking low. I'm hoping you guys can hear me better.
I mentioned this before, right? This console has to, again, it has to suck the air from the bottom and then cool it and then shoot it, eject that air from the top. But the thing is, eventually, you would think, over the course of time, the suction of whatever it is, the vortex.
Is my mic better? True Woody, True Breed. I'm hoping my mic is better. I'm trying to see if the volume is louder.
That's really interesting.
It might be the mic that I have over top of it. I have a fucking microphone fuzz thing over top of the mic.
I'm not saying it's gonna cause
your pop filter.
Yeah, I got a new one that goes around it now, so I don't have that shit in front of me.
I'm not saying it's gonna cause problems, but like that's the thing about their
The design of that system just is shit to me. I mean, it's not something I get excited about. I don't get excited to look at the system. The cool thing that I do like a Gluck said, I like the top with the green lights. That's pretty cool. But outside of that, yeah.
Yeah, that is I mean, that's probably the retail. I just saw a few more people would talk about it. Yeah, it's definitely the retail.
It just came out though. This news just dropped.
Yeah, I saw another picture with that lighting on it, with the launch information, so they might have it be lighting up there.
But so it's confirmed, Adam, that it's 1 terabyte.
Yeah, it's 1 terabyte. Yes.
So I go back to the question for both of you guys: how much money
it won't be 1 terabyte because normally it's like under that.
I know, but how much money are they gonna lose on this? It's a 1 terabyte SSD, new SSD, and
my assumption is roughly around $90 to $100.
So what? It was supposed to be $600 to break even.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would be. This would be a theoretical $600 console. If they wanted to break even or profit, they should have priced it at $600. But the thing is, they are obviously I mean, again, both companies know that if they went to $600, it will be a bit of a tough sell. Not unless there is something that's really fucking enticing for you to go.
Like games, like exclusive games.
Well, that maybe, I don't know. There's some other things, but yeah, I'm actually really intrigued about that bottom part. I'm actually not gonna lie. Like I'm just currently looking on Google of how that airflow works. And again, it's literally like a vortex. They're literally, I don't know. I don't want to say shit, but I mean, I've always been sketched about how the airflow is working on that console. I mean, looking at it, right, the internals, like it's not like a PC, right, where you've got so much space for the air to be, there's like to be cooled, but then there's air. That air is able to be free to roam around and then be ejected eventually. That console is so tightly compacted. There is no room where that air has to be sucked up, ejected through the cooling aspect, and then through the fan, and then that's it, quickly. Otherwise, you're going to overheat it. And then, again, the components are very close together, right? I mean, the boxes, we've seen the inside of the box, how it's packed in. It's very tight. Not saying that, it's bad architecture, because the Xbox One X is very similar in a way, but it had, that console did have a lot of room with it, so it can be slightly different. The PlayStation 5... Oh, so we haven't seen the PS5 yet, have we? Like the insides of it, what it looks like. But I'm guessing it is probably like a dual fan system, where, as we've seen at the top of the PlayStation 5, it's like a sort of like a vacuum sort of aspect, or like a radiator, should I say, at the top. So that's probably how that happens. And again, knowing PlayStation, the reason why it's so big is because they're allowing those parts to have a lot of room to be cooled, which is good. But then also it could be something else. It could be like there's rumors about liquid metal and liquid cooling. Some people have been mentioning. I have no clue. It'd be interesting to find out.
Well, I know so I just pulled up an article. IGN was covering if you built a PC that was exactly the same specs as the Series X, as buying one item per thing instead of bulk buying like Microsoft would do for the producing their consoles, it would cost you around $900 to $1,000 to put together a PC with the same specs. The issue, most bulk distribution, they would save about 20 to 30% on the cost of the goods. Even still, they're taking about $100 to maybe even $120 loss to sell it at $499.
Yeah.
Or not. Yeah. So it's gonna be. I honestly think it's gonna be a huge loss. And like I was telling Jay earlier, and you weren't here, Adam, and the PlayStation's estimated cost of what's in it is about $470, $450.
So I got a lot of Xbox fans also coming. One Xbox fan just came to me, Rio, with a whole bunch of numbers on Twitter. He says, ha 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 ha. And then he sends me a link to thegamer.com where it says as the headline, Xbox Series S, yes, the smaller one is faster than the PS5.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's the CPU. It's was it 3.5 gigahertz compared to 3.6. That's it.
That's it.
That's literally it. And again, all you have to do to say to these people is how, like, where did you want to talk about power? What did the Xbox One X get you in terms of power? Not much. The Pro says numerous times, the Pro is a 4 teraflop system, that's a 6 teraflop system, right? The Pro is a less powerful system, yet it's selling at a higher price and selling more than what the X is doing right now, which is deducted its price massively and it's selling less or not as much. And what's happening to it now? Being discontinued because of the Series S. Because if they kept that around, there'll be a bit of a problem there. Because if people are like, that's a 6 teraflop console, the S is a 4 teraflop system, people are like, oh, so I should go with the Xbox One X. No. But this one's got RDNA 2 and SSD, so you want to go this. And it's like, that's got 6, that's got 4. Why would I go with a weaker? So, because it kind of gets all fucking clustered. So, like, fuck it. Get rid of it. Put the Xbox One S, the Series S and Series X on the market. That way you don't confuse people. Which again, they still are confusing people with the Series S and the X.
Oh, exactly. And then the fact is, it's still called Xbox.
Yeah.
It's good.
I mean,
Look, the whole thing is confusing, man.
There was a PDF by an analyst or a few analysts that have been doing some research about the names of the Series the Xbox consoles compared to the PlayStation consoles, and it wasn't surprising that parents within these analytics will find it difficult to work out which one they need to get their sons and daughters, or what was the best version to go for. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, I said it earlier on, right? When I'm on Facebook, game.co.uk, which is the game store in the UK, I saw at least 4 or 5 mums asking the question, is this the new Xbox? The new Xbox? And they said, yes, it is. And they go, a few of them said, which one, what's the difference between the two? Which one should I buy my son? Because he's been asking for the new Xbox this Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And then they go into the formats or in the replies of it's to do with the SSD, the teraflops. And as soon as they mention the SSD and the teraflops and all that bits and bobs, one of the mums, which I read the reply to, said, "What the fuck is an SSD or a teraflop?"
Oh, gotta love that shit, bro.
Again,
you gotta love that shit.
Obviously, the basic advertisement for it will be, "This is the most powerful console," right? And the mum will look at that. If that's the powerful one, that's what my son wants. And then you've got the more, I don't know what it will be for the Series S. I'm guessing the smallest, most powerful console, or the smallest powerful console. I don't fucking know. But again, it's hard.
Okay, so how do you rank power when it has 4 teraflops? When the teraflops is how they were ranking power before the system was showing off. This is what I don't understand about the Xbox fans. Xbox fans rank power in teraflops.
Yes,
now they're trying to say that the smaller one is still more powerful than the PS5, but it has 4 teraflops.
But it isn't. No, that's the thing. It isn't.
Okay,
it's just,
so that's what I don't understand.
It's literally
as far as the SSD, does it have the same exact type of SSD and the slim?
No.
Huh?
Wait, sorry. No. What do you mean? What do you mean? The Series S and the X?
Yeah. Do they have?
The S is a 500.
No, but I'm talking about the same type of SSD, not the same space.
What do you mean, like the same brand?
Yeah.
They probably have got the same brand, yes, but it isn't the same. Thing's gonna say isn't the same. No.
So it's still slower.
Yes. I said earlier on, Jay, right?
0.1 gigahertz different is maybe faster fucking in microseconds, but it's not going to be faster in anything else. It's not going to make that big of a difference. That article says it's a direct competitor, but it's not. It's not. It's going to upscale. It's not going to be true. It's not going to be native like the PS5 is.
I like to see what that means, though. You see, because they say up to 120 frames, right? 1440p. That's what they go. That's what their marking is. But it's like the Xbox One X. How many times are we going to see it be able to reach 120 frames at 4K? I don't think we ever will. I think it'll be fluctuating between 1080p, 720p, or I'll say 1080p. No, I'll say 1080p, 720p, with 120 hertz or 120 frames. And then when it comes to the 1440p, I'm guessing it's going to be lingering around the 30 to 60 frames. I would not be surprised if that's how they're going with it.
Yeah, but you also have to look at
refresh
rate of TVs right now. What's the refresh rate on the average TV now?
The refresh rate on the average TV, I don't know. I mean,
60.
I got 60.
60.
Oh, yeah, 60, yeah.
If you don't have a high refresh rate on your monitor, on your TV, those extra frame rates don't do shit.
Yeah,
you're right about that.
There's no reason for it.
My gaming laptop has a 300 megahertz refresh rate. It's fucking. I could run really high end games on it. But the issue is, if I ported it over and ran it into my TV, those frame rate doesn't mean shit because the TV can't keep up with it.
So I see President Obama was talking about the situation over in California. Yeah, and Trump won't say anything because California doesn't like Trump, so he doesn't give a fuck if that shit burns.
Oh no, he was. I'm not a Trump fan, but he was bringing up the fact that he's been trying to get them to do control burns again. Like he's been last year we had that huge fire too, and he's like, why don't you guys do control burns? Yeah. And it's all environmental shit. Like they want to protect, this species of bird that habitates in the area. But if they did control burns, then the state wouldn't light on fire like it does all the time anymore. My dad used to work in every year. He used to do the fires because he worked for Mobile Exxon, and they would send him out, and basically he would sit at the bottom of the fire line, and so the fire trucks could basically refuel and stuff. And he was gone for weeks on end, like in the early 2000s. So we've had fire issues out here for years, man. It's our new natural disaster. It's worse than our earthquakes or anything else.
Yeah, see, I'm just sorry. Yeah, 5 years. So yeah, CPU is 3.5 gigahertz compared 3.6. Yeah, see, that's not much.
They gotta hype up something because they cannot win on the games front. They cannot.
It's literally been like that since since the reveal of the full specs of the Xbox Series X. It's been that consistently. You see, vast majority of YouTube, Xbox guys, within the YouTube space. Like you have the RDX guys, Colt Dealer, not Tim Dog, 'cause he doesn't do videos. D-Batch, the vast majority of their channels is to do with hardware, which again, that's absolutely fine. But when these consoles come out, theoretically, if you're on YouTube and that's what you're doing, you're gonna be like, what can I do after this? You can't talk about hardware. You can't consistently talk about that because
What's funny, bro, is they're still talking about hardware, and we're 2 months away from November.
Yeah, I know they are, but again, that's gonna
And I don't think they're gonna ever stop.
No, I don't think they will. Cause it depends on their fan bases. I mean, obviously they like to hear this shit, but again,
they like to hear this shit, but they don't buy it. Like look at the One X. The One X was way more powerful, and how many of those sold?
Yeah, I know. That's it. No, man.
Like you could hype it up, but if you have a game like, and I didn't really care for the story of Last of Us 2, but graphically it's fucking really amazing. It's a great looking game. But you put that side by side with anything on Xbox. What matches up to that? Nothing. And they have the Series X, and they have the Xbox One X. They can't fucking make games look good just with hardware alone, Yeah,
exactly. I mean, that's the sort of the eye-opening, crude truth that's going to surprise them. I feel like. I mean, especially if PlayStation's launch lineup is to be what it is and what they've been teasing for the past few weeks. If that is their launch lineup of games within the window, as well as the actual launch of the the console itself on the day, PlayStation really had that lot. They really have very much locked it down with games like Demon's Souls, GT7, which again, GT7 has yet to launch by the side of a PlayStation console. They've always wanted to do it, but they've never been able to do it. And this could be the first GT game they can do, which it's just it'll be great to see that. They've got Demon's Souls. You've got Spider-Man, which apparently is going to be a couple weeks afterwards, from like early December, maybe late November. You've got
They don't have that.
They don't have that anymore.
They got fucking Halo. They got a Halo.
They got the Master Chief Collection, but they ain't got the bundle. Halo.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Is it true that the Master Chief Collection isn't complete?
No, it's complete. It took them a bit of time though.
Somebody told me on PC it's not complete and it doesn't have Halo 5.
Oh no! Wait.
Well, the Master Chief Collection was never supposed to. It was supposed to do 1 through 3, right? And then Reach.
Yeah, basically when they released it, it was 1, 2, 3, ODST and Reach.
Oh, that's it. So they have all
And then,
those.
yeah. And then 5 was separate.
Oh,
Obviously, with the PC version, though, because there was a lot of fuck ups, they slowly pumped out the game. So last year they did Halo 1. At the end of last year, they did Halo 2. Halo 3 just came out, or no, Breach came out, I think, prior. Then Halo 3 recently came out, I think it was.
Those are the only Halo games that matter, the ones that are in the Master Chief Collection, because any of them after it fucking destroyed the multiplayer and everything else.
Oh yeah, and 4. Forgot about 4. 4 is in there as well.
Fucking terrible 4, terrible 5.
Yeah, I think funny if I played through the Halo games recently. I played Reach because I played Battletoads, and I was like, I'm gonna play through. I randomly started playing through 4. Then I played Reach again because I forgot. I literally had not played Reach since the 360 era. At the end of that,
Yeah.
Played that. Then I started playing 1. Then after I'd completed 1, started playing 2, and I forgot about the whole anniversary situation where they did the whole the upscaling of the like the different cinematic like sort of cutscenes. Basically, they revamped that shit, which was amazing. And then I played 3, which again isn't an anniversary edition, which kind of sucks, but it's pretty good for what it is. And then I kind of dabbled with 5 a bit. And the thing is, when it comes to Halo 4 and 5, based on the visual aspects, they are pretty good, I would say. The gameplay of 5, I can fuck with, because it's got the slide mechanic, the sprint mechanic. It's got vaulting finally. And the dash, the sort of shoulder barge thing, and the dash, which I really like because it's like a modern movement. But the stories, nah.
Well, I feel like the sprint mechanic destroyed the multiplayer because the multiplayer never had sprint through the first 3, and it didn't have any of the other shit because it was an arena shooter. It was like everyone runs at the same speed, and there's no you press the sprint button too early and miss getting to the rocket. Whoever you're competing for weapons that are on the ground. That was always what was cool about Halo. And then they changed the fire rate of all the weapons because they included stuff like the needler and shit like that. And as a person who liked the arena style shooters, that Halo 1 through 3 and Reach and ODST were great. But 4 and 5, when they started adding mechanics like jumping really super high and shit like that, it kind of like it killed it for me. Like I didn't want to play anymore because I like the equal footing level of getting to the sniper rifle first, and stuff like that.
Yeah, see, that's the evolution of first-person shooters for you around that time, because that's when you had Titanfall going through that sort of, with the wall running sort of thing. You had Black Ops 3, you had IW, basically, but the vast majority of the Call of Duty games that kind of hit that sort of stride. Which again, like for Call of Duty games, they did that for the reason people weren't gripey about it really, because it was just ever evolving. I do get what you mean with this arena situation, right? The 1 speed. I mean, obviously, they wanted to fix the whole situation of making it a bit more faster. Then they just turn up the movement speed. They don't add a sprint. They just turn up the movement speed, like what they kind of did in Doom Eternal and stuff like that. And
Doom Eternal is a great example. They don't have a sprint button, and he just moves at that speed.
Exactly. Yeah, you got the It's like they literally scrapped. They literally broke. Or they literally ripped out the fucking the crouch button, and they implemented the dash button instead, which was like understandable because who the fuck crouches in Doom?
Yeah,
but like
that was one thing that and the rate of fire on the weapons, like if you get one of the like sci-fi style guns, then you're gonna laser people, and the guns shoot at such a ridiculous rate. It's like I just feel like they killed what Bungie had created, and that was the multiplayer side of Halo was really amazing, and I enjoyed it up until the end of when 4 came out, and 4 I fucking played it for a little bit and just couldn't get with it because the way the level design and everything else, the level design was so shifted for the fact that now you could run on walls and jump really high, and the only thing that could make you sprint in 2 was the sword, because the laser sword would make you jump at people.
Yeah, because the thing is with the sprint, when it comes to like them integrating some things like that, yeah, obviously the first time when they integrated the abilities stuff like that was in Reach, where you had the sprint ability, the overshield sort of ability, that sort of thing, where you press the RB or LB to use that thing, and obviously it was only for a short amount of period of time. Obviously, with 4, they just fully integrated the sprint, because like it was a case of every first-person shooter has a sprint button. Like that the shooters that were around Halo all had sprint. So it was like, it was more in the sense of 3 thinking, let's get with the times. And then with 5, they kind of went the extra mile where they did that with this, obviously the slide mechanic, the vaulting mechanic of being able to like climb up cliffs or whatever it is, which was pretty cool. Obviously the dash, and then obviously they integrated the shoulder barge as well, where if you you ran to a certain point and you pressed the RB, you would literally fucking shoulder charge like, well, whoever is in front of you. But yeah, I mean, last weekend I think it was, I actually jumped on Halo 5, the multiplayer. I played roughly around 4 games, and every single one of those games I won, and I was reaching 20 kills comfortably. And the thing was, I don't know what game mode I was playing. But like I was literally just using an AR, and I'll literally go on the map and pick up a battle rifle or a sniper or a plasma sword, or whatever it's called. Which there wasn't any like loadout situation. Like I literally just pick them up, and I'll just, again, because I'm used to those sort of movements in games, like it was just easy for me. But I can also understand the aspects of going back on Halo 2 and 3 and seeing how those games move, like the aspects of, it was more in the sense of, it wasn't about movement, it was more in the sense of where you had to be on the map, the placement of where you had to be on the map at a certain time. It's kind of like, again, like Unreal Tournament, Quake Arena 3, those
exactly.
Sort of where you knew where you had
the
to
arena
go
style games. Yeah,
exactly,
you know
where you had to be.
You learn the map layout and where the guns are, and
Exactly.
you were competing to get to that sniper rifle first, or that rocket launcher. Okay. You know?
It's like, I don't know. What was that level called? What was it called? Fort or Face? I think it was Unreal Tournament. It was called Face. Capture the Flag Face. It was like 2 towers within, like, which had pathways in the shape of like an infinity sign, and then in the background you had the Earth, and the Redeemer was literally in the fucking middle, or it was like, I think it was either in the middle or it was on one top. It was on the top of one of the towers. As soon as you got that Redeemer, game over. Like you would, you blast that Redeemer like in a small confined area, everyone's fucking dead.
Yeah, and it created choke points where people would have to run into each other and stuff, and you would have to fight it out for those weapons. Yeah. But shit, guys, I need to get some rest.
Yeah, me too.
Thanks, Jay, for having me on, buddy.
No problem, man.
No problem.
Adam.
Yeah.
I guess I head off to work at 2:00 now, so I got an additional hour. But I guess we'll be able to see
what. You didn't go work today, did you?
No. Yeah. I mean, I'm actually glad because I got some much needed additional rest for the next 2 weeks. But next 2 days. But I know the Ubisoft shit is tomorrow, so that should be fun.
Yeah, I mean, again, that they already kind of have announced what there's going to be there, really. Obviously, the big thing is that people want to see there's going to be like a Prince of Persia remake, though it's been rumoured to be there, which hopefully is. I'll be watching it. I'll give it a watch, but like last time, being a fucking major downer. I'm not expecting much. Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah, it's probably retarded. Yeah, but I'll be on tomorrow. I'll probably watch that whenever.
I mean, I see there will be leaks of PlayStation stuff, and not like leaks people finding, but you know, you'll see box art, you'll see Insomniac post something about Spider-Man. You know, you'll see some of that stuff. I don't see PlayStation telling every last one of their branch not to talk about their stuff, but I don't see them talking about it in such a way that it would let the PlayStation fan base know that maybe they're gonna do something this week, because they're not. This week is over already. This is over. You got Thursday and your Friday. You're already in the last 2 days of the month. Of the week. So then you got the clear week, which is next week. Who knows what's gonna happen? But I don't know if anything's gonna happen. I do know that before you go, if we go to the calendar, just want to go to the calendar, and Tokyo Game Show, what is like the last month? I mean the last week of the month. Alright, what is that? When is Tokyo Game Show 2020?
2020 Tokyo Game Show will begin on Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020, and ends on Sunday,
So
September
the 20
27th.
Okay, so the 23rd to the 27th, right? That is when... Oh my god, that's a pattern, Adam. Guess when the 23rd is? It's a fucking Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
The 23rd is a Wednesday. Yep, and smack dab in.
I said it earlier into breaks.
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation are looking to do something prior to Tokyo Game Show.
So that could be the Tuesday before Tokyo Game Show, or sometime next week.
I think it will be sometime next week, or beginning of the final week.
Yeah, because you still got you know, Xbox is gonna do something with their pre-orders the week after that. That will be on the 22nd. So yeah. Sony could one-up them and do something on the 21st, but I don't think they're gonna do anything on the 22nd.
The funny thing is, you say that they might, but again, I can definitely, I mean, the sense of that's when they open up their pre-orders, right? If PlayStation were to,
and that's the day before Tokyo Game Show, by the way.
Let's just say 4 days before those pre-orders go up, PlayStation announced the pricing, the date, and it is like, in a wishful thinking manner, it is $300, $400 for the digital in the physical version, or yeah. So let's just say
it's exciting to see that this.
It's gonna be at 3 o'clock. It's gonna be at 3 o'clock p.m. Let me put that in the chat. I won't be able to cover it, obviously.
3 p.m. Eastern on September 10th, 2020.
The Ubisoft event is at 3 o'clock p.m.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like I was saying, like whenever the Xbox pre-orders go up, right? If we say like 4 days prior to them happening, PlayStation come out and they give you the price, the date, they do whatever it is that they're gonna do, they do it, and the pricing of the console is either, in a wishful thinking manner, $300, $400, or $350, $450. Let's just say, right? And this is 4 days before the pre-orders go live on the Xbox. That will definitely be PlayStation going, not so fast. And and then they give you the date, the price, the lineup of games that they've got at launch. That is going to throw a spanner. And again, it may be only $50 or £50 cheaper than the Xbox Series X, but to people, that's still $50 less. And again, with the lineup of games they have provided for next generational games, not current gen, that's going to be a big, that's going to be enough spot. But if PlayStation really wanted to make that difference, right? I think personally, Gluck said, it's roughly around $50 to $70 at loss, right? If they were to sell the PlayStation 5 at $400, the physical version, they'll be taking a $70 loss roughly. That's, for them, with the software they've got, the lineup of games that they've got, right, they could theoretically do that, let alone the factors of how much money they've profited from consoles like the Slim and the Pro, where again the Pro has yet to decline in price. So all that money that they've gained from the profits from those consoles, it adds up to them being able to take a somewhat hit with the software and the services that they've got, like Plus and PS Now. So I would like to. I mean, to be honest, I would like to see PlayStation do that. I hope they do. I hope PlayStation do. I mean, if PlayStation really wanted to, I think them doing the physical version at 400 and then the digital version at 350, I think will be a nice little sweet spot, because that means that, you know, you can pay $30 more for a 10 teraflop system instead of going for a 4 teraflop system within the Series S. And then when it comes to the the physical version, you're paying $100 less for obviously a lesser system in some narrative, but again, like, it's enough because you've got those games. I hope PlayStation do that. I really hope PlayStation come out and they do a 400. I hope it is $399 for the physical I hope it is for the disc.
Oh boy. Oh, Adam.
Dude, like, I mean,
how much would they stand to lose for that?
It's wishful thinking. I know it's wishful thinking, but they're only going to be taking a $70 loss of that console. If Xbox are willing to take over $100 loss on the Xbox Series X, PlayStation taking a $70 loss on the PlayStation 5, knowing the games that they've got lined up for that console, I think they'll do it. Hands down. I mean, it's either that or they're really confident in going for a $500 price tag, and in which they'll be profiting from that, which would be good, obviously, because it'll be helping them. But again, like, normally consoles are not sold at a profit. Normally, they're normally sold at a loss. I know, fuck it. I mean, again, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm touching wood here. I'm fingers crossed, touch wood. It's 400 and 350 for the digital. Let's do that. If they do that, that's good. That is really good. That is really good. I hope they do it. Simple as. Anyway.
Okay, man. Well, I guess that's show tonight. Just a little small update on the bullshit going down, guys. The Xbox fan base is going wild. They have no exclusives, and they're still talking about specs like that shit matters. We saw what happened with the Xbox One X. It's going to happen again. You need good games. You know, you can have multi-platform games that are also on our platform, but you're going to need some games of your own that you can't get anywhere else, and that's what they're lacking, and it doesn't look like they're gonna want to fix anytime soon. What, 2 years? 2 years, hopefully. And then they have all the exclusives they can muster. I actually don't want a cheap system. True Witty. Thanks, True Witty, for saying that, because there are a lot of fake PlayStation fans about to switch back over to Xbox, and they're gonna buy the $300 system, and then they're gonna have to upgrade. So they're gonna be paying upwards of $1,000 in total. So we're gonna continue this discussion tomorrow. I don't expect anything to happen before Ubisoft goes, but I will go live tomorrow. Probably play a little bit of Avengers and talk to you guys a little bit. But I hope you guys like the setup. I borrowed this from the Twitch stream. It looks good. We might be using it in the future. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I am